Okay, so picture this. A Seoul school auditorium. It used to be packed, but now it's practically empty. The people who were afraid, they're gone. The ones who had faith, vanished. And the angry ones, they stormed out a while ago. So who's left? Who are these people still slouching in their seats? Well, they represent a philosophy that's pretty quiet, but believe me, it is powerful.
And this is the question at the very heart of it all for this group. I mean, think about it. In a world that is just full of pain and risk and responsibility, what if the best way to survive, the ultimate strategy, is to just be completely and totally indifferent?
All right, so this group that's left, they're called the donuts. They're what's left behind when all the passion, all the fear, all the strong beliefs have just walked out the door. You could say they represent a philosophy of the center, but as we're about to find out, it's a center that's completely hollow.
And this is how we meet them. This is their opening line, delivered by their unofficial spokesperson, a guy named Diesel. When he's asked why he's even here at Seoul School, this is his answer. It's not angry, it's not defensive, it's just a plain statement of fact. And honestly, it sets the stage for everything they believe.
So what is this worldview actually built on? Well, it's not some complicated system with a bunch of rules and beliefs. No, it's really the exact opposite. It all just boils down to a very simple two-word motto that guides every single one of their non-decisions.
You see, for the donuts, life is for the body, for the here and now. All that deep stuff, Soul School, finding your purpose, that's for after you die. Right now, it's all about one thing: physical pleasure and always taking the path of least resistance.
And here are their core beliefs. It's a philosophy built entirely on being passive. Don't push anything. Don't try to direct your life. Don't take control. Just react. But I really want you to focus on that last point. We are not responsible. That's not just a side effect of how they live. That is the entire goal. But, this isn't just about being lazy. There's a really powerful psychological reason for all this. Their apathy is the shield they've carefully built. And as we're about to see, the whole thing is held up by one perfect, unbeatable excuse.
This right here, according to Diesel, this is their key to absolute freedom. Because if you think about it, if you don't know and you don't care, how can anyone possibly hold you accountable for anything? It gets you off the hook for your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. It's a bulletproof vest against anyone's expectations. And this is the result. This is why they're called donuts. In their own words, it's because they're hollow inside. They don't have a fixed set of morals or principles. Nope. Everything is fluid. When you genuinely care about nothing, you don't have a moral core you need to defend, which, let's be honest, makes life incredibly simple.
Now, don't make the mistake of thinking this is just simple-minded. The donuts have actually built a surprisingly solid logic to back up their apathy. They don't see it as a weakness. To them, it's a superior, more rational way to live your life. This is such a fascinating argument, isn't it? Diesel is actually claiming that real equality, true fairness, comes from total indifference. His logic is, if you care more about frogs than birds, well, that's not fair to the birds. But if you don't care about either of them, then you're perfectly non-judgmental. When nothing matters, everything is equal.
And this lays out their risk assessment of life perfectly. On the left, you've got everything that comes with caring: expectations, disappointment, vulnerability. On the right, you have their ideal world, the peace and harmony that comes when you just don't get emotionally invested. For the donuts, one path leads directly to pain, and the other, well, that's the only safe place to be. So at this point, their teacher, Lord Blue, asks the question we're all thinking, right? What's the price you pay for all this detachment? Doesn't this fortress you've built for yourself just become a cold, empty prison in the end? And this is Diesel's answer. It's maybe the most honest and revealing thing he says in this whole exchange. Because it's not that they can't care, it's that they are terrified to. Vulnerability is the real enemy here, and apathy is their only shield. So this brings us to the end of their story. And the way they leave the classroom, well, it's the most perfect ending you could imagine. It's a perfect reflection of the exact philosophy they just finished explaining. Lord Blue gives it one last shot. He tries to engage them on a deeper level. He asks them the ultimate question, right? The one that every philosophy, every person has to deal with eventually. Why are we even here? Diesel's answer is, wow, It's just breathtaking in how simple and nihilistic it is. He completely dodges this huge existential question and swaps it out for a simple, fleeting physical pleasure. For him, the purpose of life isn't to learn or to grow or to achieve anything. It's just to feel good for a second. And this right here just captures their entire being. They don't storm out in anger or vanish in a puff of smoke. They just wander off. Their exit is as passive and non-committal as their entire lives. They just drift away.
And that leaves us with this final thought. You know, it's really easy to just dismiss the donuts. But in this chaotic world we live in, their philosophy, it has a certain appeal, doesn't it? So, is choosing not to care a clever tactic to protect yourself from getting hurt? Or is it a quiet surrender of the very thing that makes us human?